to another edition of The Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm Kyle Slagle, and with me is Coach Moore. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Kyle.
The Tigers are now 3-0 after beating Warren Harding 51-21 last Friday night. What pleased you the most about last week's win?
I was pleased every time we tackled their running back. This was really good.
That's it, yeah. The Tigers fell behind early in the game, but then responded with 2 quick scores. How important was the quick comeback in that first quarter?
It's always important for momentum to answer, when you give up a score, and we did that all night.
The Tiger defense was able to keep Harding's outstanding running back in check. How were they able to do that?
Well, we actually didn't do a great job of that early, but over the course of the game, we did a better job. Just continue to play hard and play good defense and rally to the football.
Our football team is very good. Both teams had to deal with some rough rain during last week's game. How do you and your coaches stress ball security in wet and cold weather games?
It's just something that it's a part of what we do. Another important part of ball security is the weight room and being strong enough to hold the ball high and tight and keep it there in spite of the defense trying to scrape it out.
Yeah, I'd never be able to do that, so kudos to you.
I bet you could.
In a moment, we'll meet a Tiger player and hear more from Coach Moore. But first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thank you, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Joining Coach Moore and I is Tiger quarterback Aiden Longwell. Aiden, how excited were you after getting another victory in Week 3 last Friday night?
Every win's exciting. You should always celebrate the wins because they're hard to come by, but we just got to keep working and get better every week.
As a second-year starter at quarterback, what did you do in the offseason to improve your level skill?
I think everything was important. The weight room's really important. Just getting bigger and stronger, developing as an athlete.
What are some of your personal goals for this season?
You want to win every game, make the playoffs. Beat McKinley's a big one. And the state championship is our all-time goal.
I hear a lot about your excellent work ethic. Where does this come from?
I think my dad has always told me, work as hard as you can, don't let anybody outwork you, and just try to be the best you can be.
Tell us what Coach Moore is like in the locker room right before the game starts.
He's serious. I think everybody is. He's focused. He's very scheduled out, knows what time everything should happen. He's great before the games, keeps everybody focused.
And finally, how about a scouting report on the Montclair, New Jersey defense?
They're going to be athletic. I don't think their defense is too complicated. I think we're going to have a great game plan for them.
Thanks, Aiden. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Coach Moore, tell us more about what Aiden brings to this year's team.
Aiden's our quarterback, and there's a lot that rests on that position's shoulders, especially with us. We do a lot of what you call now the run-pass options, where he's making a lot of decisions, both pre-snap, how the defensive lines, and post-snap, how it moves, about where he's going to distribute the ball. So there's a lot on Aiden's plate as far as making our offense go. And he's also has such a great demeanor for a quarterback. He never gets real excited about anything, never gets down about anything. He's the same guy every play. He's the same guy every day, shows up the same guy every day. And that's a calming factor for his teammates. They always know what they're going to get out of Aiden.
Your Tigers are home this Friday night to face Montclair, New Jersey. Tell us about how this game came about and what do you know about their school and football program?
A storied program. Have won multiple state championships. They were state champions last year, 15-0 last year. They are number 1 all time in New Jersey in wins, as we are number 1 all time in Ohio in wins. So it's a really interesting matchup. they're willing to come out and make the trip to Massillon, and we're happy to host them.
What does Montclair like to do on offense?
They're very spread offensively. They'll even get into some empty sets. Like to throw the ball a lot, but they're somewhat balanced. But they really like to throw the ball. They're good on the outside at the receiver positions.
What are some of the things we'll see from the Mounties defense?
They've changed a lot in different games depending on what they're seeing. So they're not the type of team where, this is what they do and only this. I think we'll get a 4-4 type of look out of them. I think our receivers will be in one-on-one situations. I can't imagine they're going to line up and not try to structurally take away the run. So that's what I would anticipate.
And finally, what are the overall keys to a Tiger win in Week 4 against Montclair?
Well, number one is always we have to stop the run. And then we have to establish the run first offensively. We have to get our running game going and protect the football. We have to win the turnover battle. And if we do those three things, we'll have a chance to win the game at the end.
We want to thank Coach Moore and Aiden Longwell for joining us on the show. The Nate Moore Show has been brought to you by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Kyle Slagle. Thanks for watching, and go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Welcome to another edition of Swing featuring Tigers Swing Band Director Jason Neel. We're on air with you every Wednesday night following the Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. I'm your host, Gavin Crawl, and with me is Mr. Neel. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Gavin.
So first off, for the first time this season, you've had to deal with some rough weather. How do you protect both the equipment and the students from this weather?
Well, I think you're referring to last Friday night and actually Saturday night as well. It was quite rainy, and we need to protect our woodwind instruments from the moisture and the rain. So a lot of times we'll make them bring their cases to the game. So in case it gets too wet, they have to put their instruments away, and because it will ruin the pads on the instruments, and then it's an expensive fix. Friday night wasn't too bad at any point. I mean, it was kind of just drizzling a lot, but it didn't really come down on us until like post game. So we went to play our post game, and the rain was just too heavy, so we kind of canceled our post game show. And then Saturday night we went to the Lake Band Show, and it was quite a lot of rain, and so we stayed on our buses for a long time, and we only got our instruments out for like 15 minutes when we went to do the show and put them right away. So we try to be protective mostly of the instruments when it's raining. And I don't think the kids were in any danger. Obviously, if there's lightning, we can't even have the game. Everybody's got to take cover, and we're always looking out for the safety of the students as our #1 priority.
All right. Can you tell us more about last week's pregame and halftime show performance during the Warren Harding game?
Yeah, I thought the kids did a nice job with our pregame. We had, we do a similar pregame every week. The one thing that does change, and just so everybody's aware, is, when we play the song Stand Up and Cheer, we salute the visiting school, and, we spell out either their initials, but this week we spelled out the word Warren toward their fans, and I saw, a number of their fans and band acknowledge that we did that, and that's always fun to see. We do that for them, and I think that's a classy thing to do, and that goes way back to, George Bird as well. They were always doing that. That's a college band tradition. You know, most colleges will do that. They'll salute the visiting school and band. But we also had our advanced choir sing the national anthem and the alma mater. We invited them to do that, and you know, thought they did a nice job with that. So it was a good pregame. And then our halftime show was our road trip show, and for the limited amount of time that we had on that show, I thought the kids did outstanding. We didn't actually start playing and marching that show till 2 days before the game. So as fast as they picked that up, I was really impressed with the kids, and I thought the show went well and got a good response. Both Friday and Saturday night we did the same show at the Lake Band Show. So thanks for asking that.
You're welcome. So you're now into a big stretch of 6 games in a row. Can you tell me about how like your practices and stuff really reflect that, I guess?
Yeah, we're always trying to stay ahead, and like there, you know, show 2 was against Warren. Show 3 will be this week against Montclair, and we've been working on that music for a couple weeks, and like we learned the drill for that on Monday, and so now we're learning the routines the week of. So we're trying to stay 2 or 3 weeks ahead on the music, and at least a week ahead on the drill. And so next week we're doing show 4. We're doing pretty well on the music. I haven't even written the routines yet, so I'm constantly writing, and pretty much every night I go home from school I'm writing a new routine for the next show to stay ahead of things. So it's a challenge, and you know, the kids have really responded well, and I think they take pride in the fact that we do a different show for every home game, and I'm certainly proud of them for doing that.
I've heard that you have a very active booster club in the community. How do parents become involved with this, and what do they actually do? Well, our booster club is all volunteer, and you know, they do so much for the band. Our president this year is Lisa Markley, and she and her executive board spend a ton of time, and a bulk of what they do is organizing the concession stands for the football games, and not just the varsity ones, but every event that goes on in Tiger Stadium. They're there, and they're ordering food and concessions and things like that. But they also, you know, chaperone, you know, the band trips and organize the feeding of our kids anytime we go on a trip or have to keep the kids through a mealtime. You know, we're feeding the kids. You know, our boosters take care of the uniforms. You know, Bill Joseph and his crew do a great job of taking care of all the uniforms and alterations and things like that. And we have parents who do so many things. We have medics who come along with the band, who travel, keep our kids safe, and take care of all our medical emergencies and things like that. And I can't even begin to tell you all the stuff. That's just some of the first things that are coming to my mind. But our parents volunteer, and they do a fabulous job, and we could not run this organization without the help of our parents. So thanks for asking that, and I just want to thank all the parents who get involved to help the band and help the kids. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a pretty big thing. So, yeah.
Yep.
So now let's have a word from Howard's Tiger Rags.
Massillon fans all know the best place to find great Tiger apparel and much more is Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. Howard's Tiger Rags is proud to sponsor the Swing TV show on WHS-TV. How about a new football t-shirt and hat? See their cold weather items and Letterman jackets too. Need a hoodie? Howard's has nearly 300 in stock all the time. Don't forget about their infant and toddler apparel, tiger mugs, and framed wall art. They'll even help you get ready for prom. Visit Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. Follow them on Facebook and give them a like.
Thank you, Howard's Tiger Rags. So this band season, you'll be celebrating your 80th year, I've heard. So what are you planning on doing to like commemorate that in this week's halftime show? What's all going on with that?
Yeah. Well, this Friday night against Montclair, we are inviting our alumni band back to celebrate, you know, our 80th anniversary. And the entire halftime show is, you know, based around just celebrating the Tiger Swing Band. And we're having a practice tomorrow night, Thursday night, for the alumni band and the current band, and we have 3 hours to put this whole show together. So it's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We did this 5 years ago for the 75th anniversary, and just really enjoyed the practice, just getting the alumni band and the current band together, and watching the interaction and watching just going through the process of learning and putting a show together real quick. It was just so much fun. And then the game itself, the performance, I'm looking forward to a similar type atmosphere this Friday night, where I think our fans are going to just enjoy seeing the two bands combined for the halftime show.
What else can you tell us about Friday? Friday night's halftime show against Montclair in New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do our opening routine, which is, what George Bird kind of invented 80 years ago, and that's what we're celebrating, that 80th anniversary of that event where George Bird came to Massillon and just kind of revolutionized marching bands in this country. So we're going to do that opening routine with Fanfare, Tiger Rag, and Carry On, and we're going to do a big swing number, just kind of celebrate the swing heritage. One of our favorite songs is Sing, 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 and the band's done that a number of times over the years, so we're going to do that with the alumni band as well. And, some school songs, Massillon Will Shine, Eye of the Tiger, we'll play the alma mater together, and kind of happy birthday swing band, if you will. So we're looking forward to a fun halftime show.
So the drumline has become quite popular this year. Can you tell us more about that group?
Well, I think our drumline seems to be a popular group just about every year. And, Chris Nussbaum is one of our middle school directors, and he works with the drumline. And, all the way back in July, they're getting ready for the season. They learn a bunch of cadences. I mean, there's over 30, almost 40 cadences that those students memorize and learn, and they play a lot of the football game, especially when our team's on defense. You'll hear the drums playing a lot, and they're fun, and everybody likes the beat and the groove of the drum line. So, and I think they do a nice job, and my hat's off to those students for all their hard work, and especially to Mr. Nussbaum for all he does to get all the instruments ready and prepare the students. And they're a fun group, fun part of the band, and they always do seem to be popular. Yeah. And
finally, the Swing Band Review is coming up on Saturday, September 22nd in the Paul Brown Stadium. Can you give us more details about this annual event?
Sure. Yeah, we're looking forward to that show coming up, and like you said, that's Saturday, September 22nd. We've invited 9 visiting high school bands to join us, so there's 10 bands at the show. Let's see if I can name all those bands. That would be Alliance, Cuyahoga Falls, Dalton, Dover, Kenton Ridge, Lake, Olentangy Orange, Wadsworth, and Worcester. So those are our 9 visiting bands that are coming to perform at the show. And show starts at 7 o'clock. The gates will open at 5:30. And we only sell tickets at the door. So there's no, rain date, or, if the weather's bad, we don't have any pre-sale tickets. So those tickets are $6 each, $4 for students or senior citizens, and children 12 and under are free. So looking forward to a great show, a lot of great bands, and we've got a very special Tiger Swing Band halftime show coming up that week. We'll talk more about that next week, but we'll be doing that show next Friday and Saturday at the band show. So should be a fun night.
All right. We want to thank Mr. Neel, the director of the Tiger Swing Band, for being with us this week on Swing. Our show is sponsored each week by Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. I'm your host, Gavin Kroll, and thanks for watching as always. Go Tigers.
I joined cosmetology because I've always loved coloring hair and different colors and makeup.
I joined media because I've always had a passion for all things related to media.
I've always had a passion for teaching other people, especially topics that I'm interested in.
I want to pursue a career as an orthopedic surgeon.
And so when I saw that we had this class, I immediately circled it on my schedule and was excited to join.
This class has made me better because it made me very responsible.
I like the relationships that I've developed in this class.
The girls that are in here with me, I've really grown close with all of them.
I joined this class because I enjoy helping others and I want to make a difference.
Even like just making something and having people go, wow, that's really interesting. It means the world.
It was just a really good environment to be in. It was real hands-on and it was just something I really wanted to do.
I joined the construction trades to gain experience in the job I want in the future.
Everything that this class has taught me will account for my career in the future.
Before I came to this class, I was unemployed and Ms. Markley helped me get a job.
I'm going to use what I learned in manufacturing in order to better decide my career.
It gave me more knowledge on cars and gave me plans to go in the auto industry.
Massillon CTE works for me.
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 Works for me.
For me.
For me.
For me.
Massillon CTE works for me.